angels come down, help with this parade. To hear your voice ring out, come on and shout it, let your song be heard. This is the time, this is the day that we've been waiting for. All the world stop to watch you shine.
Welcome to Revise with Mrs. C. In this clip we're looking at chemistry and we're looking at how to calculate the relative formula mass. The relative formula mass is known as the MR. In a question such as this, you'll always be given the relative atomic masses. If you're given the relative atomic masses, always use the values that you've been given in your question. If you've not been given them, then look at your periodic table. If you don't know how to find the relative atomic masses, then there is a clip on how to find these. This question here says sodium chloride, and it gives you the formula. It will always give you the formula because this is the hint on what you need to know about what to calculate. It's formed when sodium reacts with chlorine. The question asks you to find or calculate the relative formula mass, the MR, of sodium chloride. So what you do is you take the chemical symbol that you've been given and you break it up into its elements. Every new capital is a new element. Since I have no numbers, then it is just one of each. If I had a 2 or a 3 next to one of the elements, then that's the number of times I would add that element into my formula. I then look at my ARs. For sodium, I've got 23. I'm going to put that down underneath sodium. And then I'm adding the AR for chlorine, which is 35.5. Even though you can probably do this in your head, please do use a calculator. 23 plus 35.5 equals. Now I've gotten there 58.5, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that twice. 23 plus 35.5 equals. And again I've gotten 58.5. So I can say to myself that I've gotten that value twice on the calculator, so I'm more likely to have the correct value. You'd get 1 mark for getting the correct value. In order to get the 2 marks, then you need to put the units. And the units for mass is grams. And you can just put a G there. Okay, let's try this one. It's slightly harder, so see how you go. Foundation and higher. Hopefully you've had a chance to have a go at this question, so let's go through the worked example. It says, calculate the relative formula mass of sodium hydrogen carbonate. Again, it gives you the formula. It also gives you the relative formula masses of each of the elements. So the first thing we do is write down the elements. There is 1 Na plus, there is 1 H plus, there is 1 C plus, there are 3 O's. Now you can do this in 2 ways. You can either write it as O plus O plus O. Alternatively, you can write it as O times 3, whichever you prefer. Then I'm using my relative atomic masses. So sodium is 23 plus hydrogen, which is 1, plus carbon, which is 12, plus oxygen, which is 16, which I can do 3 times. Alternatively, I could do 16 times 3. Get my calculator and I add those up. So I'll do 23 plus 1 plus 12 plus 16 plus 16 plus 16 equals, and I get 84. I'm just going to do that again to make sure I get the same value twice. And I get 84. So I know my answer is going to be 84. That's for 1 mark. To get my second mark, I need to put down my units, which is grams. Can I just mention something on the use of your calculator? When you're doing it, if you're going to do this 16 times 3, please use the brackets. So for example, I would say 23 plus 1 plus 12 plus bracket 16 times 3 end bracket equals, and hopefully we've got the same value there. There it is at 84.